welcome into Sparkling Diamonds with Brittany and Robin. I am Brittany, and I am here with another passion project video. Before we get started, before you say Brittany, you already have one. Let's just welcome in all the new people. So if you're new and you've never been here before, welcome. I'm half of our channel. Robin is the other half. She's in the background here, so you may hear her commentary from time to time. But if you're new, definitely make sure if you enjoy diamond painting or just any kind of craft content, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. It helps promote our channel. And also make sure you turn on notifications if you like the content so you get notified when we do put up new videos. And if you're returning, of course, as always, welcome back. So, yes, passion project. Let's talk about it. So yes, do I have one currently ongoing that has 4 pretty massive kits? Yes, I do. Am I starting another one anyway? Yes, I am.
Of course she is.
Why?
That's a good question.
Because, the peanut gallery back there is very loud. So we're hosting an event starting on February 1st through March 31st. So I have 2 months this year, called the Emma Casey Diamond Paint Along. And so I need to work on Emma kits, and I somehow, for the first time since I started dragon season well over a year ago, have no Emma Casey whips. So I need kits by Emma to work on for the event. So I had already planned this as a passion project. I didn't know when I was going to start it. There'll be like a second part of this passion project because there are, once we get started, you'll see there are, I think, 4 more kits right now that are very similar. I don't know if they're the exact same size, but they're very similar. So, my passion project. Let's switch views here so you guys can see the table and tell that all these kits came from Bella de Nicole. I will say the only downside is, as of for right now, you unfortunately cannot get these 3 kits anymore. So Bella de Nicole recently, within the last 3 months, switched manufacturers, and so these kits were rendered with her old manufacturer. At some point, she might re-render them with the new one, with the new manufacturer, so you could buy them again if you wanted to. But she said that stuff like that was going to depend on the demand of the kit. So what do we have? We have none other than, the kits were a little different. Here we go. Let's see which way we're turning it. This way. The Emma Casey Drink Dragons. So why I said this was one part is because recently with the new manufacturer, Bella de Nicole released 4 more drink dragons. So there's soda time, milkshake time, hot chocolate, and lemonade, I think, are the other 4 drinks. So these 3 we have coffee time, tea time, and of course pumpkin spice time. What I do love about these, they're all smaller kits. They are all the same size. They're all 37 by 55 centimeters. I have 2 that are square and 1 that is round. I'm pretty sure coffee time was only ever released in round drills. So, all right. So what we're gonna do is this is gonna be the first video of the passion project. So we're going to unbox each one, kind of look at it, and then I am going to debate if I want to try to add any enhancements or if I'm leaving them as is. Bella Art usually does have quite a few specialty drills in her kits anyway. So once we get looking at them, we will decide how we're gonna do it. So without further ado, let's get started. I think we're going to start with coffee time because it's round drills. And I actually should be able to leave these on the table because, like I said, these canvases are very manageable size-wise. I am so excited for this event to start. And to start working on these beauties. So this will be one, I haven't actually even finished my first update for my other passion project. I'm almost at the point I could, because so I was trying to do a first update when I had them all 1/4 of the way done. And so my first passion project, I'm almost there. So you might get that within the next 2 or 3 months, but you should get the updates of this one. Since they're smaller, I might just do an update halfway through and then a finished one. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. And see how quickly they work up, because like I said, they're small. So for right now, I'm going to lay this face down, and we're going to look at this. So this did I'm pretty sure came with a toolkit. I think I've previously opened this, but I'm pretty sure Belle Art de Nicole's stuff, they normally come with a toolkit. I just don't have it. And then, yeah, it does, because she also does like one of her better quality trays. I can't think of what she calls them, but it normally does. So I've already taken out of this. So as I said, this is a round drill kit. So here is a look at your colors, some blues, some pinks. Here's our specialty drills here at the end. So like I can already see like 5 of them. So, and then each one does come with a sticker sheet. So as you can see, here is Coffee Time by Emma Casey. It is 37 by 55 centimeters, and then it has 43 colors. These are individual stickers, so actually it has more than I said. So 5 ABs and 4 sparkle dust in this one. So that's why I said there's usually a lot. So I mean, you gotta think that's 9 out of 43 colors. I do see like obviously the white AB there's not a lot of. So I don't know. We'll see once we get started and we look at this and see where the specialty drills are gonna go, if we're gonna add some or not. So if you haven't ordered from Belle Art, I have not gotten any kits from the new factory. So this is going to be talking about the kit from the old factory as far as like the quality. I have loved her quality previously. You do get the soft back canvas with the scalloped and perforated edges. And then we're flipping over and look at the adorable Coffee Time. You do have, we'll talk about her canvas. Her canvases do have the good plastic, and I'm actually going to take this. I know you guys could see in the back, it looked like there were wrinkles. What that is when the canvas is shipped, where it's rolled up, the plastic kind of gets wrinkles in it. And so if you just smooth out that plastic, you can already see the bottom half is so flat and the top half isn't. And so I'm probably not gonna put these back in the box. That's why I'm going ahead and doing this. So if you do that, your canvas is now flat. But as the top here, you do have the Belle Art de Nicole logo, her butterfly, and then enhancing your diamond painting experience. She's got share your love for Belle Art diamonds on social media with the hashtag as well as their website. You do get legends. And actually one thing I do really love about the way she does her legend, you've got one on the bottom left, and then the one on the top right, I don't know if you can tell, is upside down. So if you do like me, and you work from the bottom and then you flip halfway through, your legend's still right side up on the bottom. So it's really neat. And then at the bottom, again, you've got her logo, as well as information about the kit again. So Coffee Time by Emma Casey, as well as the size again. And then all of her socials. So they have a YouTube, a Facebook group, an Instagram, and a TikTok. So this adorable cutie. All right, we have to see where the specialty drills go to see if I need to add anything to them. So this is the only round kit. So let's take a look here. I will say this has a little bit of color blocking, but it also does have some chunks of a little bit of confetti here. So, all right, first one we have, I didn't even take them out. I guess we should do that. So I can like show you the color we're looking at here. So where do they start, right? Is 36 the first one? No, 35 is. All right. So again, we have 4 sparkle dust and 5 AB. So the sparkle dust is kind of like what is also known as the fairy dust. And so it has like a fine mica powder coating on the drills. If the camera cooperates, there you go. You guys can see the bottom is like the dull green, but then the top has like the shimmery effect. So we're gonna start looking at the sparkle dust. So the first one is that pink, which is 602. And the symbol for that is kind of like I'm gonna call it like a horseshoe. And so actually I can see a little bit right here, a little bit right here, because there's like these little stars going around. So there's this star, and so it literally is on each of the little like stars in the background. So here, it's cut off on that star, this one, and actually there's a couple right there too. So I'll show you what I'm talking about here. When I say the stars, I don't know how well it's coming through, but you can see right there, it's like a rainbow looking kind of star. So that's where all of that pink is gonna go, is in those stars. And then next we have 701, which is another green sparkle dust. And so that's actually gonna, ironically enough, be the opposite side of those stars, but the same thing. So each of those stars has quite a few of those going all the way around there. This one up here at the top actually doesn't have any of that one either. But this does. There's a couple right there. And then I do see some green in his horns, but that is not part of it. So again, this one's all gonna be that pretty little like star shape in the background. And here, I can kind of show you on the image a little bit better maybe. You guys can kind of see right here. Next we have blue, which is 996. And so this is actually going to be in parts of the tail. So here, the little horns, also the cute little toenails. There's just a few. And then also the little claws and also the horns of the head. So this is kind of scattered throughout all of his little blue horns and nails and toenails. And then his actual tail. So that gives him a little bit in his fingers. And then next we have a 3865. There's just a very few of these. And so this is the last of the sparkle dust. And that is going to be like 3 circles together. So now there's not a lot of these. So the question is, so it's going to be actually in the face. And it's kind of grouped together. So you'll see there's like 5 right here, 5 right here, 5 here, and then they're kind of scattered throughout some of the, there's another little grouping here. So that's kind of scattered throughout the top part of the face, and actually there's a few more here. So that's kind of scattered throughout the face of the dragon. I'm just glancing to make sure I don't see it anywhere else, and I don't think I do readily. All right, so now let's get into our ABs. So AB, if you are new, stands for Aurora Borealis. And so you'll see, even without the camera focusing, that pretty like rainbow effect that comes off of these drills, and then we'll see if we can get it to focus. So you guys can see that coating is on the top of each of the drills. So we're gonna start off, we have 2 purples. So the first is 209 AB, and this is the dollar symbol. And so this is gonna be not the middle part, but like the circling around it on the cup here, as well as the handle. And there's a couple in the top of the cup as well. So I think that's all going to be focused in the cup. I'm just making sure I don't see it anywhere else. And I don't. So lots of that in the cup. And then ironically enough, this next one, which is 210 AB, which is just a little bit of a lighter purple, is the main background of the cup here. So this whole center of the cup is going to be a sparkly AB. You also have some of that lighter purple AB in the handle, and then just a couple around the rim of the cup as well. Very pretty. Yay! So I don't know. So far I'm thinking I might not need to add anything to this. All right, next we have 605 AB, which is a pink. And so this is actually just underneath. It's like the background, but right here behind the dragon's foot at the bottom here. And then I don't see it anywhere else. So that's all going to be right through here. And then we do have a 5200 AB drill. I skipped one, but that's okay. We'll come back to it. So 5200. And so this is actually kind of scattered. There's a few spots in the tail, a few, like a big chunk here in the hands, a little bit on the top of the coffee in the actual coffee cup, and then kind of scattered throughout the face, a little bit in this ear, and then some on these 2 horns here, and even a couple on this horn. So that one's kind of scattered throughout the dragon. Actually, the tip of his wing here has some. One right here. So that's kind of scattered throughout the coffee and the dragon. And then the one I did skip is a blue AB, so 3846. And so this is going to be right here in the big part of his tail, and then actually in some of these horns on his tail as well. So this is going to be where that fairy dust was too. So the tips of his fingernails here. Not on this hand, but there is a couple on 2 of the claws on this hand, but then also all of the horns, including the 2 on the forehead here. So I don't know if I want to add anything. If I do, I think what I might do is potentially add, I don't know if I have enough, like a 5, the 310 might be fun to do like the outline in fairy dust, but I don't know if I have enough of those. I want to try to do stuff with stuff I already have on hand because I'm cutting a little too close to order, although I always tend to do that. But the other thing might be maybe some of the browns in the dragon. So like we have 780, there's quite a bit of, let's see. There's also quite a bit of 977 and 3776. So there are some options. So what I might do is might just see if I have something that fits for some of those when I get ready to start it. And if I do, maybe I just add those in. And if not, I don't. Because like I said, there's still there's 9 different specialty drills already in this. So it's not lacking by any means. But I just love making the Emma Casey pieces special and pretty. All right. So I am going to wrap this back up in the plastic and stick it back in the box for now, just so I don't get anything mixed up until I get them started. Because I am still, even though I could start right now, I'm still going to wait to start with all of you guys on the 1st, which is a week away. So I will be starting all of these next Sunday. All right, we are getting coffee time put away, and next, I think we're just gonna grab whatever box this is, and I don't know which one it is. Pumpkin spice time. All right. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, this one has a toolkit in it, so the last one didn't have it, so I didn't show it to you. I can kind of just quickly show you what's in it. I won't talk too much about it. I don't think it has, I think it's called an essential tray, I think is what she calls it. So it doesn't have the essential tray with it, but it'll have everything else. Because usually she sticks the essential trays down in one box in your order. And chances are I probably already took it out when I opened the order out of the box and put them up with the rest of the trays. All right. And so like I said, these are pour glue canvases, so you can roll them back on themselves to get them to lay flat, which is what I just did. So let's look at this really quickly, just to show you what comes in her toolkits. So you do get some sharp tweezers, of course your 3 caddies of blue wax that just fell all over the table when I dropped it there, a pen with a squishy, and then you actually get 3 multi-placers. So you have, I think this is a 3-placer, a 7-placer, and a 9-placer if I'm not mistaken, and then usually just a random roll of washi tape. And then of course the essentials tray will be in the, if you just order one kit, it'll be in the box for that kit, but if you order multiple, sometimes she puts them all in one box. So that like I said, they've been taken out and put with all the other trays. So all right, so this one is square as I mentioned. So here's a look at the color palette for pumpkin spice time. Of course, we're gonna see some more oranges. You see several specialty drills at the end there. And then here's a look at our sticker sheet, of course. Look at that cutie. So this one has 51 colors. It has 3 ABs, but also 5 sparkle dusts. So still looking at quite a few specialty drills for this one. Let's pull them out. Maybe. What's the first one? 44. So yeah, pretty good sized chunk of these. All right, let's set these to the side and let's take a look at pumpkin spice time. I'm excited. I don't know if I've seen him other than having Emma worked on it. So I've seen the coffee time several times, but I don't know how much I've seen this cutie. Oh, it's so cute. Look at that. Oh, these little feet. I love these. I love these drink dragons so much. This is gonna be so fun. So I won't go over all the intricate details again. We're just gonna look and see where the specialty drills go. Again, this is just to kind of evaluate if I want to add anything to it or not. So let's take a look at this. So we'll start with the first sparkle dust, which is a purple. So this is 208, and it's gonna be the music symbol. And so I do see some right here aligning the tail and the feet of the dragons. So there's just a few there. And then also I do see some up here in the sky, just right behind the dragon's horns. I guess it's not really the sky. I guess we're gonna go off the background, but and I think that's it. Oh, there's a few right here, right along the background and the edge of the leaf and the cup here. Actually, I think this is part of the handle of the cup, so a little bit in the handle there. And there's always a chance, guys, when I'm looking at these, I do miss them. There is always that chance. All right, this there's quite a few of. So 349 is a sparkle dust. This is like a, I'm gonna say pinkish red. And so where do we see that at? I'm gonna go this probably up here because I don't see any of it down here at the bottom. Actually, I do see like one here, literally one single one right there. Oh yeah, there's quite a few here in the background behind the dragon. I don't actually see any in the dragon, so it looks like it's gonna be a big chunk of the background there. I do see like 2 or 3 down here. So most of that's gonna be focused in the top corner up there. All right, as 602, another pink. This is the dollar symbol. And so we have a few here around the coffee cup, also here, and then there's like some pink that goes around behind that's in the background. I don't know what it's meant to be there. You guys can kind of see like right here in the image. So there's some lining that there. And then kind of scattered. There's a couple here or there in like the horns of the tail. One in this toenail, like 3 in this toenail, 1 in that toenail. A couple in the one toe, well, yeah, 2 in that toenail, but that's it as far as like the hands go. And then I do see a couple more up here at the top in the background behind the horn. And I think that's it. So a couple of those. Ooh, I like this color. So this is a blue 798 sparkle dust. So this symbol is going to be the U-turn symbol. This is, oh no, not quite our last sparkle dust. So the U-turn symbol. So I'm going to assume it's the background somewhere. The question is where? Okay, so I do see some right here, some right here, some right here. And actually, there's actually a few in this eye, just around the edges, but not any in this eye. Oh, and down here in this little like colorful swirl in the background, and a little bit right here. So yeah, that's mostly gonna be the background. All right, next we have, what color is it? What shade? This is 976. So this is like a orangish tan kind of color. And let's see. I think I see that in the pumpkin already. I do. It's like some of the edges of the pumpkin right here where it gets lighter. There's some there. I wonder if there's any of this in this dragon. There's not a whole lot of it. So honestly, with how many that there is, that might be it. Yeah, I don't see any in the dragon or any more in the background or the leaves or anywhere. So I think all that's going to be in parts of the pumpkin here. All right, so now we get to our ABs. So there's 3 of these, but there's a chunky bag of this one. So this is 720. So I'm thinking this may be potentially part of our dragon, but I don't know. Actually, no, that's going to be, again, the darker orange part of the pumpkin here, as well as some of the background. I was hoping it would be in Mr. Dragon, but it doesn't look like it is. Oh, no, there is some, I think, right? That's the right symbol? Yeah, so there is a little bit lining the wing here, and a couple lining the wing here. But I think that's it. There's just like 2 or 3 in the leaf up here. And then, well, no, there's some kind of scattered throughout like parts of his wings here that are close to the coffee cup. So there's a few of those in there. So then we have 740 AB, so another orange. And so there's not a lot of those. I do see some right down here in the background, not part of the pumpkin, but like right behind the pumpkin. That might potentially be it. There's also not a lot of that one, so let's see. No, I do see a couple right here in the wing. Yeah, and a couple in the wing here. So there is very few, but they're kind of scattered throughout parts of the wings. And actually, I do see a couple in the face here too. So those are kind of scattered throughout a little bit. And then the last one is 996AB. So this is an @ symbol. And so I see some of those right here in the background. There's also a big chunk of color blocking of those right here. And then in this little swirl here again. And also a little bit of a chunk of color blocking right here. And one in this eye. So this eye has some specialty drills, this eye has none. So the question is, I kind of do want to add to him. And I want to add 741, I think is the color I would want to do. 741 and 3822. And because I want the dragon to be have some cuteness. And so that's like the larger chunks of like the face and the wings, and then the 3822 is like the lighter yellow spots in the wings, and then also some of the spots in the face. I don't know if I add anything to the coffee cup, but I definitely want the dragon to look a little cuter. So I might add that again. So if I have something on hand I can make work for this, we might do that. So I'm pretty sure 741 is a pretty common orange color, so I feel sure I have something, whether it's an AB or a fairy dust. I don't know if I want to add sparklers to it or not, but I feel sure I will find something to make this work that I have on hand already. So I may not the 3822 because that's not like a common color I remember very well, but we'll see. So again, we're gonna wrap this one up. I'm leaving the toolkit out of this one. We're gonna stick him back in the box, and we're gonna look at the last one. So if you're a pink lover, we saved the best for last because we have the adorable Tea Time coming up, who is like a pink dragon. This is like a pink shade. All right, and let's stick you back in the box here. And so for these, I probably will just work out of the bags. Maybe, I don't really know. All right, last but not least, Tea Time. Oh, look at that. See? This one has one of the trays. This is like I said, her essential tray. So they're a little taller. They don't have like a stopper on them, but pretty good sturdy trays there. All right. Well, we got the drills to come out. The kit itself didn't want to come out. There we go. All right. And so this one has a toolkit again as well. We will look at the washi tape real quick, because why not? I dropped the multi-placer on the thing, and the wax came out. Oh, we got a Christmas washi tape. All right, fine. I'm gonna be the responsible person and put the wax back in the thing and put the lid on it. It's rolling away. It refuses to stay. All right, there we go. Now then. So this one again is square. So I do see there's already quite a few white ABs there, but this one has a pretty good mix of colors. So let's roll her back real quick and grab a sticker sheet out. All right. All right, so here is a look at the last beauty, Tea Time. All right, and so this one has 55 colors. So with this one we have, again, 5 sparkle dust and 3 ABs. So we're still sticking around the same number of specialty drills roughly. Like I said, hers, they usually have 8 or 9 specialty drills. There might not be a lot of some of them, but there's usually quite a few. So let's pull those out real quick. There we go. And let's flip her over and take a look at her. I know I'm gonna love this one. This one of these 3, this might be my favorite. Because look at that, isn't she beautiful? She's got some pinks, but the blues, you got the pretty butterflies, some flowers. Look at a little bow. Her face reminds me of like cotton candy colors. So pretty. All right. last thing. So let's look at these again and see if we're adding anything, or going to try to add anything to this beauty. So 48 is our yellow sparkle dust, and this is 444. So there's some down here in the yellow in the background. And then also the outline of like this like flower looking thing up here in the top. And actually a couple spotted throughout like the top part of her face. And that is it for that one. And then we've got a pretty pink 602. And let's see, where are we gonna find this at? I feel like it might be the dragon, but it also might be the background. I don't know. It's the background. So right here behind this butterfly, you've got a good chunk of it. You also have a couple kind of scattered throughout right here. But then I do notice there's also a couple in parts of her bow here. And then I don't see any as part of her. Actually there's like 2 right here. And any in the coffee cup or the handle? No. So most of that's gonna be in the background up here. A couple on her bow, and then just like 1 or 2 right here. All right, next we have 728. Again, not a whole lot of these. Trying to see where I think these might go. I see like 1 or 2 in each of the toenails down here. And then also part of the background right here, this green, there's a few in there. Oh, actually here too, there's several around this yellow part of the background down here. A few in each of the toenails up here on this hand. There's actually only like 1 in 2 of the claws here. And then also several in the horns. You can't really see many of the horns because of the pretty bow, but in the horns there. And then also, again, this little flower in the back here. Someone's kind of scattered throughout. That's a pretty color. 946 sparkle dust. I really like that color. Look at those. Maybe? Camera? Can you focus for them to see? There we go. Oh, that's a pretty color. Alright, anyway, so this is like the male symbol. So I do see the center of parts of the lighter part of the butterfly on all 4 sections here. A little bit right here. Let's see, where else do we have it? This butterfly, I'm gonna assume, yeah, that butterfly as well. There's actually a couple kind of scattered throughout her face and even like right through here to her ear. A couple right here and also the end right here. And let's see. Yeah, so there's actually a couple kind of scattered throughout here. And even a couple in part of the background right behind the butterfly here. And actually right here. There's several lines up here in the background that are all that sparkle dust. All right, next is 3766. This is our last sparkle dust. And so this is gonna kind of be, it looks like similar places. So the inside of this butterfly, and so inside of that one, as well as the one up here. And again, there's more of this in this little blue section here, as well as here. There's a few in this one. Also a few in the face and the ears. Let's see, any in the background? For this one, it doesn't look like it. There's a couple right here actually. Like the right below where the spoon is. Is there any in the background where the other one was up here? Just like 1 or 2 right here, but that's it. So those are pretty similar places. All right, next we have a purple AB, which we have a lot of. 208. So this is a star. So I do see a few right here and like the edge of the lining of the cupcake. And then right here, which is like part of the background. And let's see. There's a pretty good section here, another good section here, a few right here, a few along like the top of her eyelashes here and here, and actually the inside of both of her eyes, I believe. Yeah, that one's the inside of both of her eyes here. Let's see, another good chunk right here. And then also up here by one of her horns on it looks like part of the background. Yeah, so, and also a few scattered along the edge of like her ears here. So there's quite a few kind of scattered throughout her face, and then also some like small chunks in the background. All right, we have an orange 743 AB. And let's see, so I do see quite a few of that down here where we had those two fairy dust earlier. I see like one in the claws on this foot and like one or two in the claws on this foot. Same thing, like one on this hand, one on this hand, and then just like one or two maybe on like each of the horns, but not a lot. One in the center of her face here and a couple scattered throughout. And then also, again, a good section up here in this flower in the background. So those are very similar to where that yellow sparkle dust was. And last we have our AB, the 5200. So that is going to be lining like a stripe of the cupcakes. There's a little bit at the top, but then it kind of like lines down, as well as outlining the edge of the flower down here. Some in the little pads of the feet, and then just a couple in some of the toenails. A little bit right here behind the butterfly, and actually there's one in that butterfly, and actually there's two in each of the top parts of this butterfly. This section here, kind of lining up the bag for the little string for the tea bag. It's like right through here, up to the cup. Let's see. Oh, the center of her eyes, of course. Part of the spoon over here, as well as part of the background. And then there's a couple up here. A couple in her horns up here at the top. It looks like each of them almost. This one doesn't have any, but the rest of them kind of do. I don't see any in her actual like face or ear. And then just a few along the edge of the flower here, but none in that butterfly actually. So she's got quite a few. I think, again, if I have it, I might add some pink. So like the 3609 and 3608, which covers like the big chunks of the pink of like her face over here, as well as like the parts of her face there. I don't know, I might add something to the teacup here. Maybe the tea, just change the tea. I don't know. Well, once I get ready to start working on them, I'll just pull out my drills and see what I've got. And I've got something that there's like, I'm like, I should replace that. There's a lot of those. Then we might do that. So we'll see once I start working on it. And then when I do my first update, I'll let you guys know if I decided to add stuff, if I did what I added. I think, I could be wrong. I feel like there's an enhancement suggestion for one of these. Maybe coffee time on DP with sparklers, but I'm not 100% certain. I just feel like I've seen somebody do it with it, maybe? I'm not sure. But I feel like if there was one, it would be coffee time. So, all right, let's put up tea time, and then we'll wrap this up. So, let's stick her back in the bag here, and back in the box, and we'll go to the full can. All right. So that wraps up the first video of this passion project of the wonderful, well, 3 of the wonderful Drink Dragons by Emma Casey. I will have several more of them coming, but I don't anticipate working on that as a passion project. If I finish all these before the end of the event, I don't know what I'll be working on, but I might do like viewer's choice and pick out like my top several kits and let you guys pick. Because I don't have any other whips, so once I finish these, I don't know what I'd work on. There's so many I like, it's hard to pick myself. So if you really enjoyed this or you love Emma Casey's artwork, definitely make sure you're following along so you guys can see the updates as well as the finished projects of this. See if I decided to pick out any enhancements to add to it. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are going to have I don't hope, I know you guys are going to have lots of fun for the Emma Casey Diamond Paint Along this year. I'm super excited that we extended it to 2 months so we get to celebrate this beautiful, fun artwork for 2 months. But that will do it for our video. Again, definitely make sure that you guys are subscribed and like, and feel free to share our videos. It helps our channel out and doesn't cost you guys anything. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video. Make sure you're kind to everybody both in the real world, online, and in our comment section down below, and we will see you in our next video.